Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Sagittarius for the month of April. You can have Sagittarius anywhere in your chart. You can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you are here watching this reading, that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Okay, so for this round of April videos, they are having me get songs for you guys. And the song that I got for Sagittarius is called So Many Tears by Tupac. Okay, so the song is quite religious. So if you're not religious, then, just apply it in a spiritual way if you're spiritual or whatever. Or it can be metaphorical, okay? So he's talking about, in the song, he's scared of going to hell. And, in the beginning of the song, he talks about how in order to survive, you have to shoot first. Like, that was the way he was raised, or, that was the life that he was born into. And he was so scared of going to hell for these actions. But he wanted to be a better person, but he didn't know how to escape the life, right? And there was one line that really, really stood out to me. And he said something along the lines of being baptized in the flames of hell. And to me, that's kind of like it. I got like a phoenix imagery, and how, you have to burn in order to rise. And there's a theory, and I'm kind of this belief. This came up in the last round of videos. I'm not really sure whose it was, but it's like where, we are all, if you believe in like past lives and stuff and reincarnation, it's almost like we have all been all layers of all beings, from hell through heaven. We've all been everything. We've been the lowest of low and the highest of high. And, or if we haven't been all of them so far, it's like we're working our way up. It's kind of like we start out in the pits of hell and you have to like kind of like climb out of it. You have to keep healing and keep healing with every incarnation. You just keep healing in your wounds, and you can, every time you just like ascend a little bit further and a little bit further and a little, or maybe, you can make leaps and bounds sometimes too. Okay. So when I heard that baptized by the flames of hell line, that's kind of the imagery I got. It was like, but if you don't believe in reincarnation, it can apply to just life and how the things that burn us, the things that we do wrong, like, as long as we're learning from them, as long as we're growing from them, as long as we are the phoenix and can, rise from those ashes, can rise from the things that others do wrong to us and the things that we do wrong, will be okay. Okay? Because in the song, he's talking about getting to heaven, but he's scared of going to hell. But he wants to be a better person. So it's like sometimes you have to be burned in order to be better. You have to do the sin in order to seek redemption. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not telling you to go out and like, hurt other people or anything. Obviously not. But if you've been there, if you've been the lowest of low, you have to act as the phoenix, okay? So first we're going to start with the Black Moon Astrology cards, okay? So can I have a card? Oh, they gave you 2 cards for Sagittarius for April. Oh, look at this, you guys. We have Chiron on the bottom. Healing. I love that. Okay. So what are we healing? Stability. Earth element, which breaks down to an 11. And North Node, life's purpose. It's like your life's purpose is finding stability. It's like maybe, it's like, because in that song he's talking, he was born into a chaotic environment. He was born into chaos. And he wanted his life's purpose to be that healing, that finding the stability. Because I love that we have the healing here on the bottom. You might want to look into what your Chiron is. You could have Chiron in Sagittarius. Now, because Chiron represents our wounding and like the things that we need to heal. So that could be like your life, that could be your goal for April, is like kind of finding your wounds, your deepest seated wounds that you have, and finding a way to stabilize them to make them work to your benefit, okay? Because that's what North Node is. It's like taking our flaws, like, because it's the opposite of our South Node, and our South Node is our like karmic debt, okay? And it's taking that and working through it in order to get to our North Node, in order to get to our life's purpose, okay? So, and once you do that, once you work through your wounding, once you heal your wounding, it's like you find the stability. You could have some earth in your chart. Your North Node could be an earth sign. Yeah. So like, okay, so I'm also because I just said that your North Node could be an earth sign, I'm getting like Taurus is earth sign and it's a North Node, because underneath Chiron is Scorpio, and Scorpio is the opposite of the Taurus North Node. So it's like you would have, if you had a Taurus North Node, you would have Scorpio South Node, okay? And Scorpio is under Chiron. But anyway, so yeah, Sagittarius, it seems like you're needing to really find, it's like finding, like, okay, excuse me. We're just going to go ahead and get your archetype cards here. Or card, I don't know. What is, whoa, they're not even letting me like finish my sentences before they give me something. So look at this, Child Divine. Now, shadow attributes, the inability to defend oneself against negative forces. That's almost like being born into a chaotic environment. But you were divine, but you couldn't use that divinity because you were just so focused on surviving. Because the light attributes, it says innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. Now, Tupac was a really like spiritual person. I know, I'm not like, I don't know a ton about his like all of his songs and stuff, but I do know that he had very deep meanings to most of his music, and he was a very spiritual person. Now, maybe it's like you relate to that. It's like you have this connection with God or higher power or whatever you want to call it, okay? I'm just going to call it God because that's kind of like what he's talking about in the song. He's talking about God. And so you might have this like really strong connection with God, but you were born into this chaotic environment. You were born into, or you have these like demons that you have to overcome, okay? Look at that, Destroyer in Femme Fatale. Okay, so this is crazy. So the shadow attributes of Destroyer: intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. Light attributes: releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Oh my gosh, that's that Phoenix energy. Rising from the ashes, like the flames of hell. Look at that. This might be your life's purpose, is like figuring out how to climb out of the hole. You might feel like you are inside this volcano, but guess what? Like, you might have been inside the volcano. You might have been inside those flames of hell, right? That's what it is too. Like, that's kind of like the symbolic for his life that he's talking about, is like he lived in a hell on earth. Like, You know what I mean? Like having to survive by killing people and seeing your loved ones being killed, and that's hell on earth, right? And so it's like you're living inside this volcano and you're just like praying for it to erupt so you can just get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? Like, just shoot me wherever as long as I'm not here anymore. And that's a form of ascension because it's like you are coming up and out. Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. I can't believe that it says that. Because I was talking about the ascension, like, you know, like climbing up out of the hellfires and like ascending every time that you reincarnate or whatever. And then so femme fatale, shadow attributes, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. Light attributes highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Interesting. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Now, a lot of root energy here, you know, we are talking about earth element. And you're a fire sign, and so it's like you can be very, very fiery. But when I think about Sagittarius, the fire, it's not usually like a destructive fire. It's more like just like rapid and fast moving. That could be kind of like what you're needing to heal, is kind of like how to embrace like the stability a little bit more. Maybe you've always just been, with the femme fatale here, it's kind of like maybe you've always like jumped relationships and stuff. Like you get to, how do I want to phrase this? You just get bored easily and you don't want to be like chained down or whatever. But it says, open your heart when your dependency is rejected. Oh, but I was saying with the red, it's like the root chakra. It's like you need, because you are fire and we have the earth here, it's like you need to ground. You need to, especially if you're seeking stability, you need to really focus on grounding and planting your roots, planting your feet. And so you have some stability in your life. Really focus on your root chakra and like, yeah, grounding down into the earth, okay? So let's see here. We're going to use the Gilded Reverie Lenormand Expanded Edition for the clarifiers here. Can we clarify the Destroyer, please, for Sagittarius April, please? The Destroyer. Can I have one card for the Destroyer, please? Preparing for new life. Preparing for new life. With this femme fatale underneath the stability, I feel like you're maybe going to be finding it easier. Like that's what maybe what you're needing to heal is like how to feel secure in a relationship instead of like needing to flee. Okay, hang on, something flipped here. Okay, so we have the clover. Love that. And then the swans on the bottom, or actually it's not the swans, it's called the heart. And so the clover is like good luck. It's, yeah, it's luck. And I think something is finally at the breaking point here. And once it snaps, it's going to be easier. Like you're going to find the path for, how do I want to say this? You're going to find the path that's best suited for you, because you know when lava hits the ground, like it destroys it, right? It destroys everything in its path, but then it allows new growth. This is preparing for new life. That's what it does. And clover spreads really rapidly, okay? So it's almost like once you sprout again, it's like that rebirth, okay? Even if you don't believe in past lives and stuff like that, it's a metaphorical rebirth where you're coming up, you're sprouting, and it's a positive, beautiful, fast spreading thing here going on with a lot of heart underneath it, okay? Whoa. Okay, I didn't even say anything yet, but I'm gonna take it. It's the well. So the well is about like digging deep, okay? And I think that you are needing to kind of, that's that digging deep, that the rooting. You need to root deeply. You need to, even though clover is kind of like fast spreading and like it doesn't have deep roots, it's taking this fast spreading positivity and then grounding it, like whoosh, you know, like making sure that it stays. And I'm not sure about, I kind of want to clarify this femme fatale. I mean, I guess it's this well. Opens your heart, because the well is about opening your heart as well. When your dependency is rejected, so maybe it's like you've jumped from dependent relationship to dependent relationship to dependent relationship in the past, and now you're just looking for the stability, because it is right under the stability. You're looking for someone who encourages you to be your best self. It's so interesting. Like, I've come across this thing recently where it's like about not finding your better half but being whole. And you know, I'm not of the belief that you have to be perfect in order to be in a relationship. I believe that it is possible to find people that support us and want us to grow and become our best selves while we are in a relationship with them. I do believe that's possible, but for some people that do tend to have codependent relationships, they sometimes have to become whole before they can come into union. Okay? And I think that you just need to dig deep and find the answers, like what causes your codependency? That's the healing. You know, it's like you have to look at what it is that's causing you to jump from these, like, from codependency to codependency, 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 because it's never going to heal if you don't look at it, and you have to look at it. I think that's what you're doing. Okay. You know, I'm kind of, this is going pretty fast, so I do want to look at the femme fatale. Oh my gosh, you know what? I didn't use the Osho Zen Tarot, which I use in the reading so far. I've been using the Osho Zen Tarot after the Archetype cards. But because 2 came out here, it was kind of like the same layout as like the tarot cards. But anyway, I'm going to use the Osho Zen to kind of look at the femme fatale, okay? So let's look at this femme fatale for Sagittarius for April, please. What's the message there? Huh. This is interesting. Okay. So we have the Master, which that's just like an extra card in this deck. And then on the bottom, we have Innocence. And that's the child divine. The innocence is the child divine. Like, you are a master. You have a connection to your higher power that you haven't been tapping into because you've just been so focusing on surviving. But I think you're finally ready to quit surviving and start living. And when you do that, there comes an innocence to you. But it's wise. Like, do you see this? How it's so wise? Like, oh, this is Osho, which he, I guess, was a little... he's kind of he did some questionable things once he came to like America and stuff. but I don't really know the full story, so I can't say too much on it. But you're mastering your divinity. Now let's look at the shadow attribute. An inability to defend oneself against negative forces. That was you in the past. So this is you, what you're coming into now. Light attributes. Innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. So with the rooting thing that I'm getting here, I really feel like you are, it's like because you have such a strong connection to divinity, you are learning how, and that's like the crown chakra, okay? You're learning how to bring that down and root it down into the ground. It's like you're connecting heaven and hell through you. You know how to take the hellish bits and make them pure and innocent again. And you have that power. Because you are the master, you have the power. And I think it comes from your feminine aspect. Like even if you're a man, we all have feminine and masculine aspects to our personality. And I think that tapping into your femininity, your solar or your sacral, your solar plexus is your masculine, your sacral, which is the womb area, is, and represented by orange, is the feminine aspect, okay? So I honestly think that there's something like in your feminine power that you can use to deliver the divine to earth, not only for yourself, but when you heal yourself, you heal others. You know, you heal your parents, you heal your siblings, you heal your children, you heal the world, okay? This is really wonderful. Okay, so advice, I'm going to use the Herb Crafter's Tarot to just kind of get some, how to help you on this path. Even though I know you already have it within yourself, like, I don't know, maybe just like an herb to kind of carry with you, and not even like maybe physically, but just like mentally to remind you of what you're doing here, okay? So, I love on the bottom we have curandera of water, and that is seaweed, and it's like, they're preparing a seaweed bath, and that is like the ultimate healing. That's something that people pay for in spas and whatnot, and this person is preparing themselves a seaweed bath with and look at the view there. It's just like so much healing energy. I love it. Okay, so you have the Adelita of water, which is that, I don't know if it's like the page or the night. I'll have to look. But we have the Adelita of water. Let me get the book here. Octillo or Octillo, I don't know how you pronounce it. Adelita is, let's see what it means here. It means warrior. Okay, Adelita means warrior, activism, drive, autonomy. And that's what you're doing, is like you are being an advocate. You are activating healing and therefore advocating for yourself and the world. Okay, let's see here. Of water. Adelita of water. Protects your heartwood, but let your love protect your heartwood, but let your love blossom. That's kind of like this. It's like you're protecting yourself. You're not being codependent, but you're also letting love in. You're opening your heart, but not being codependent. I love that. Strong boundaries create healthy relationships. Yes, that is like when we're codependent, we don't set boundaries. But when we are interdependent in relationships, we set boundaries, and the person that we're in a relationship with respects those boundaries and meets those boundaries. Okay. Give your whole heart to a cause. The Adelita of water is committed to nurturing her spirit. She knows that time alone allows for the discovery of her innermost desires. As the inner heartwood of Octillo is used as sturdy building material, the inner heartwood, so it's like probably the structure there. She vows to be a model of self-care. Oh, you guys, I love this so much. Just as the beautiful flowers of the Octio remain safe at the top of the tall plant covered in hidden thorns, she shares her heart with brilliant flair while keeping it safe and protected from harm. She has a deeply caring center, but will battle to protect her boundaries when it comes to love. Crafting with the Adelita of water. Warm your heart. Make a sun tea with flower blossoms. Your boundaries are sacred. Grow a small cactus in a windowsill pot to remind you. Use the inner bark of Octio or another beloved plant as a reminder to protect your heart. I love this because it is such a... You could have been born into something where your body wasn't protected, your heart wasn't protected. If you're a woman, I mean, even if you're a man as well. It's making me quite emotional. Hang on a second. And it's like, that's all you've ever known. And so you learned how to use your body to survive. And now it's like you're finally giving yourself the chance, the love, like you're loving yourself enough to set these boundaries and know that you're worthy of those boundaries. I love this so much. Okay, so Sagittarius, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. I thank any of you for being present today. Any of your guys that are present, any of my guys that are present, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really am wishing you the best of luck. I believe in you fully. And yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.